Hurts has something like that. Hurts can definitely, take his game to another level if he starts doing the little things. And I don't know what those little things are. I just know when I was playing, I became a better player once I learned what it is to be a pro. I learned how to break down field. I learned how to look at tendencies. And then I could see pre-snap stuff before it happened, and I could make a call and make something happen. But that didn't happen until later on in my career.
And welcome back to the middle. Barrett Brooks and Harry Mays. I don't know if you saw this yet, Barrett, but the New York Post has been known to have some pretty darn good covers, back covers, front covers, you name it. The back page today, the best sports in town, and they've got the whole thing is sort of like dark and black. They got the helmet of the Jets on the left and the helmet of the Giants on the right. And in big white letters, it says, "Nothing to see here." And underneath the helmets, it says, "Of course, we have full coverage of the ugly Jets and Giants losses, but we're not going to force you to see the carnage on the back page." That's pretty good.
That is great, bro.
Yeah, that's nothing to see here. Can you imagine being a football fan in New York these last couple of years? I mean, my goodness. Yeah, there it is. Good job, Xander.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's fantastic, isn't it? Can you imagine that?
We all see it.
I mean, both teams just stink on ice.
Bro, we went through, what's his name with the Sixers? Hinkie. We went through Hinkieism. So, we should pat ourselves on the back for making it through that. You know what I mean? We made it through that at least. We made it through some awful times with the Phillies. So we've had our fair share of bad sports. Just not to the level of New York football, though.
See, but the thing is about the Phillies, though, and why I don't notice is I've got other things to do during the time of a baseball season. Like, I'm busy during baseball season. I'm busier than I ever am. Okay. I don't even have time to notice how bad they are. Oh, by the way, the Flyers fired another coach today too, by the way.
Oh, they let him go.
Yeah. That's what, like 7 coaches in 7 years, something like that.
That's crazy, man.
It's absolutely, they are a train wreck of an organization.
I mean, and the what's really bad is the constant is the Drews and all those guys are still there. I mean, what makes you think that the on-field performance is going to change when
they just keep firing coaches? And now they might bring back Rick Tocchet back to the organization as the head coach.
As a coach now, yeah.
I mean, it's just like, my goodness.
Oh my goodness. I mean,
what
do you do?
8 in a row, I think.
What do you do, man?
Yeah.
What do you do? It's like it's crazy that you can think that you can change what's on the it's the players, not necessarily the coach that's making things happen. It's the same guys are there. Now Sean Couturier, he's good. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the top, centers in the league. I like him.
He's a very good defensive center.
Well, yeah, okay. He's not a scorer. We understand that.
Right. Nobody scores on this team.
Claude Giroux, he's been here for ages.
Right.
We thought Ivan Provorov was going to be all world. Well, he's defensively, but he's done nothing to garner, anything other than he's just a nice piece. He doesn't score a lot. Who else is it? Carter Hart. Come on, man. When are we gonna get that big time goalie back that we used to have? I'm just looking through the roster. Mm-hmm. I don't see anybody. Travis Konechny. Yeah. He's supposed to be that young guy who's supposed to take that next step.
Right.
He hasn't taken any steps.
No, there's no steps being taken.
So, you got to improve the roster. Don't worry about the coach. Improve the roster first.
Right. No, I didn't want to go down a rabbit hole of hockey. I just thought I'd throw that in there because they rolled that out there just before our show started, that they're going to have a press conference, and everybody knew what it was about anyway. I had heard this last week that he was going to get fired.
Right. Yeah.
But anyway, I don't expect it.
You want to get your boy all fired up, man? You want to call him, get him on the show?
He's busy right now. His phone must be buzzing up like crazy. Yeah, we start our podcast tomorrow, and trust me, there will be no mention of hockey on it. Okay, they probably fired the coach the day before our podcast started up just so they could get some mention. It ain't gonna happen. I won't allow it. I will not allow it. But anyway, okay. Let's get to the other NFL stuff. The Lions got a win yesterday, and it was a walk-off. I happened to watch it on Red Zone live. It was pretty exciting. I got to tell you. They ran a 14-play drive, Barrett, that covered 75 yards in the final minute and 50 of that game and got a touchdown to St. Brown, I believe it was, in the end zone. Brown. And they win their first game. You would have thought they won the Super Bowl by the reaction of these players. My goodness.
Gatorade baths everywhere.
Yeah, right. Gatorade baths everywhere. Goff was just going absolutely crazy.
Well, hold on. The best part was I'm looking at the defensive backs of Minnesota, and they're walking around like zombies. Like, we just
lost to the Lions?
Yeah, right. They're looking around like this.
There was some lineman that they showed on down on one knee, and he looked like he was about ready to cry. You know what I'm talking about? Some dude with kind of long hair.
Yep.
He was just like, oh my god,
we just lost to
the Giants.
I can remember being in that position, man, and thinking, I was like, man, practice is going to be hell.
Man, I know, because Zimmer's an angry guy to begin with. He's like an old school angry guy. So
they're gonna be pads back on. They've had pads off for the past, probably 8 or 9 weeks. The pads are coming back on. Practices are going from an hour and a half, 2 hours to now 3 hours. It's going to be some changes. You guys lost to who? Our division, the worst team in the NFL, and you guys expect us. They might have lunch with no protein.
Oh, is that right?
Green mashed potatoes.
No protein?
No protein.
Well,
that's gonna be tough.
After the game, though, your boy Dan Campbell did a pretty cool thing. I don't know if you saw this. But they had that Oxford High School tragedy up there in that area last week, the shooting. Yep. And he dedicated the game ball to the Oxford community. And then he read off the names of all the victims. I don't know if Xander found the audio, but we should play it if we have it. It's pretty cool.
He's on it today, isn't he?
Yeah.
So we're going to start with this game ball goes to the whole Oxford community. All those were affected. And that being said, man, I want us to not forget these names: Madison Baldwin, Hannah St. Juliana, Justin Schilling, Tate Meir, Phoebe Arthur, John Ashudu, Riley France, Elijah Mueller, Kylie Osigi, Aiden Watson, and Molly Darnell, who's a teacher. Those names for all those will never be forgotten, and they're in our hearts and our prayers and all the families, and not to mention all those that were affected by all of this.
See, I told you he's a great guy.
Well, I never said he wasn't a good guy. I just said he wasn't a good football coach. That's all. He seems like a great guy. Any guy that says he's going to bite off kneecaps and stuff is fine in my book.
Yeah, but
he just can't be my head coach.
He inherited a mess, man.
Yeah.
He inherited a mess. They're
1-10-1.
I know, man. I know, man.
There's a lot of messes in the NFL.
Exactly. And they traded away his best player.
Right.
I mean, he inherited absolute garbage, hot garbage. Those players that's where you go to end your career.
Right.
They put you out to pasture there. I mean, once I left Detroit, my career was never the same, man. I got labeled a backup after that.
So you're saying that if you get offered the head football coaching job in Detroit, you should pass? Oh,
no question. You got to.
Okay. Because there's only 32 of those jobs, but you're saying that's such a bad job, it's not even worth it.
You see it. Yeah. We all see it.
We all see it.
You see it.
Good job out of him, though, and they finally got a win. They'll probably end up with like 2 or 3 wins by the end of it, right?
Right.
I think the floodgates will open now for the Lions.
And they'll once they get a little bit of that sense, a little bit of that taste, I think they'll start playing better. I mean, Because their roster, but St. Brown won the game for him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not a big name receiver, but St. Brown. Come on, man. That's when you know is this bad football up there when you don't have the players to really go out there and play the style of football that you want. He wants to ground and pound. He wants to hit you in the mouth. He doesn't have that type of backup there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's going to be hard for him to change that roster over, get the guys in them that he wants in there.
Now, I'm going to send Xander another bit of video that we need to pop up on the screen here with regards to this Detroit win. Okay. Did you see the tweet? McMullen actually retweeted it, and that's how I saw it. Of Jared Goff's girlfriend, who is apparently a bikini model.
What?
Getting live reaction to the win. She was on the beach somewhere. I'm assuming out in California, and she was in a bikini.
That's great.
Maybe on a photo shoot or something. I don't know, but somebody got word to her that Jared Goff and the Lions just won their first game, and he threw the touchdown pass to win it, and she reacted, and I think it's worth seeing.
Okay.
Yeah. So I sent it to Xander. We'll see when we can get it up.
That's great work by you, man.
No, it wasn't me. I can't take credit for it. McMullen tweeted this. So basically what I learned here is that Jared Goff has been winning the entire time. So play this.
Shut up! You guys think this is their first win? Like, this is crazy. Here we go.
There it is. That was it. How about that?
I love what you said. I love you. You hit it right on the head.
Right.
He's been winning the entire time.
That's McMullen said that. I can't take credit for it. I'm not Adam Schefter here to his Derek Gunn. That was McMullen. So it's good job on him. I just retweeted it. That's all.
That's what it is, man. That's great work by him. It's all in the family, man. JAKIB Media, we break real stories. That was a real story there.
That's right. Gunner with the quarterback controversy or the story over the weekend, and now McMullen finding that gem. That's tremendous. Can you imagine? He's 1-10-1 and has that.
Wow.
Can you imagine if he was like 10-2?
Oh man. Oh man.
And the Arizona Cardinals are 10-2. Nobody's really paying attention.
No, they're not.
But they're 10-2.
Best record in the NFL.
Best record in the NFL.
With a college coach.
Right. Who some thought might have been going to Oklahoma. That did not happen.
My boy got the job at Oklahoma.
Brent Venables, the coordinator from Clemson.
Defensive coordinator from Clemson.
Finally got his head coaching job, and he got a good one, too. That's one of the top 5 or 6 jobs in America as far as college football goes. So you cannot turn that down when they come calling. So now, he started. Does he wear that ugly yellow-green hat on the sidelines now that he's the head coach?
Yeah.
He always used to wear that so the players could pick out which guy
He'll find some way, but he's not gonna be the defensive coordinator, so he's gonna have more of a managerial type of he's gotta have a managerial type of coaching style.
Mm-hmm.
So he won't be the guy. Now I just want to see how he's gonna convert all that energy and effort that he puts in coaching. Man, when he finished the game, he is exhausted. He is sweating. He gives it all when he's coaching those guys. Can he make that transition into being a coordinator where now he's got to be hands-on with offense, special teams, and defense?
Mm-hmm.
Can he concentrate on everything? That and that's kind of the same thing we were thinking about Sirianni, but that's going to be different for him, because he is one of those guys that he's got to be deeply entrenched into every single facet of that defense. He's right there, coaching hands-on in the players' ears. That's a lot more ears he has to be in. That's a lot more coaching that he coaching areas that he has to have his hands in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested to see it. That's where he got his first start at. He got his first real college coaching job with Stoops there at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
That's how I started off.
Now, does Dabo Swinney hire Manny Diaz as his defensive coordinator because he's now unemployed?
I know
he got fired. How about Miami courting Mario Cristobal, who has a job or had a job with Oregon at the time, while their coach is still employed?
Wow.
So they have a coach who's still in place, and they're going after publicly courting a guy who still has a job.
Well, that's when you know it's over.
That's just they cannot stoop any lower in college football.
You know what? I looked at because my boy, my fraternity brother, from Kansas State, he's the running back coach there, Eric Hickson.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping he's all right, because he's from Miami. They got a house down there. He's bought a couple of rental properties down there, and I don't know if he's going to be with the old coaching staff. That's the only thing about being a coach. I mean, that could happen at any time. And what do you do then? It's just like you're a player.
Right.
You got to pick your roots up and go wherever your job goes.
Right.
That's tough, man. That's real tough because football is 365 days a year.
Yeah, it's tough on the position coaches and guys.
It is.
Those guys are not responsible. They're not the ones getting these big promotions. They're just going from place to place.
Exactly.
Being a running backs coach or whatever. And you got to uproot your family again and just I don't know that you can ever buy a house for a while. You know what I mean?
It's a good thing he's from Miami and he actually grew up 10 minutes from the stadium. So, from the university. He grew up 10 minutes from the university, not the stadium, but the university. So, he no, from the stadium and not the university, but he grew up there from the stadium, right around the corner. If you ever been to Miami Stadium, it's not in the best of areas, to say the least. So he grew up right around there.
Well, the Hurricanes play? Well, don't they play where the Dolphins play, or do they have a
that same place?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But it's shady around. Look at the houses around there. It's shady around that area, bro. You know what I'm saying? So he grew up around there. So it's not really a problem, him, his house and, because, his family stays there. So, he'll keep that house. But still, what if he ends up in Washington with a coaching job? Or just like you said, Manny Diaz gets a job somewhere else. Who does he follow then?
I don't think Manny Diaz is going to be unemployed for very long.
Well, he won't be, but
no.
Maybe he'll come.
He's not coming back to Temple.
I was just about to crack a joke.
I think it was Ash who said that on the stream. I know he was probably being tongue in cheek.
Right.
No, he's not coming back to Temple. He's the only undefeated Temple head football coach. He was there for 18 days, never lost a game. So he's got that going for him.
No wins though either. So
yeah. Now
you know what though?
What?
I could seriously think they could entertain him again though.
What?
I could see that. You can't see him going up there?
No way. There's no way I even give him the courtesy of interviewing for a job that he walked on 18 days after he took it.
That's
Screw
crazy.
him.
You're right.
Screw him.
You're right.
All right. Boom Bap 75 on the stream says, let's be real. Hurts and Minshew are just glorified backups. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You might have something there.
Right.
But
for those taking shots at me for calling it Minshew mania, it's called sarcasm. I'm having fun. Okay. I'd advise you try it sometime.
Oh my goodness. But you know what? Did you hear what Doug said?
What did he say?
Doug is saying, he sees the same qualities in Hurts as a quarterback that he saw in other quarterbacks that have had some success in the league. I mean, he basically said, look at what he had in Carson, and his development of Carson. It takes 3 years for a quarterback to really learn what it is to be a quarterback in the NFL. And he said that Hurts is basically in his rookie year, and you have to think about him being a rookie at this point. So to think that he would be anything other than what he is right now, you're kind of joking. You kind of.
Yeah, I'm not saying they should go draft another one in the next year draft.
Well, don't do that. I mean, I can't because this draft here sucks.
Right, it's not that great.
Right, this draft.
You watch Pickett will be pushed up into the top 15.
Exactly.
Eventually, anyway, it always happens.
That'll be an overreach.
Right.
To
maybe
get
the
him.
Steelers take him.
Well,
they need.
He'd be good to stay there. He'd be good. He wouldn't have to move too far.
Right.
He can keep his college roommates and everything.
Right. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. Like we sit here and say there's no real good high prospects at quarterback, but by the time the draft comes around, people think these guys are better than they are, and they always move them up in the draft. Right.
This crop of quarterbacks is even worse than last year's crop of quarterbacks that are playing right now. Like Wilson utterly sucks. You know what I mean? Lawrence, he's gonna suck until he leaves Jacksonville.
I didn't see any of that game yesterday, but they got blown out again. I think they only scored 1 touchdown in the game.
And the Rams, and they act like the Rams are back.
Yeah,
no, they just played Jackson.
It was a get right game. I mean,
you need
every
that.
now and then you need that after a couple losses.
Exactly, but you can't say that. You can't say that. They're back. No. They should have been playing way better with the money they spent. They need to get some returns on those dividends that they've accrued over this past year. They have some players now. Those guys just aren't playing together. Right. I don't know what's going on there. They got to figure it out. They better figure it out real fast. They traded everybody and everything. They don't have anything left in the cupboard to trade.
Deshaun Watson doesn't want to come here. Aaron Rodgers probably isn't leaving Green Bay, and if he is, he's not coming here. He'd probably go in the AFC, because if I'm Green Bay, if he's not going to be my quarterback, he's not going to be a quarterback that I'm going to have to go through to get to the Super Bowl. I'm going to ship him to the other conference. Right.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
So forget about him. The only other option would be Russell Wilson. Now, would I take a shot at him if he was interested in coming here? Yeah, I probably would.
Me too.
But other than that, it's Jalen Hurts again. Right.
Well, I've already
build the defense up.
Yep. I've already come to that conclusion that it's going to be Jalen Hurts' show next year also. And which is not bad. To me, it's not bad. Because I think that, Jalen Hurts, given another year under his belt, he could show us just a little bit more. And,
But here's a question for you, though. He's not accurate. Okay. Can you get accurate at this point?
Yes, you can. Accuracy can come from taking total understanding on what's in front of you. He has the buy-in to breaking down pre-snap reads, understanding where the ball's supposed to go. That way you start anticipating things, throwing guys open. You have to get taught that. That's not something that just comes to you. That's something that's acquired over a long time of playing the game, being coached in that capacity.
Well, for some guys, it just comes to them, but those are the special guys.
Well, very special. We're talking about the Bradys.
Yeah.
We're talking about,
Rodgers,
the Breezes,
guys like that. Yeah.
Rodgers, but they learn that. They learn that too. Brady didn't come out to be all world.
No.
Brady was an average quarterback. Might have been a little below average to start off. It wasn't until he took the reins, and because he was an average quarterback in Michigan.
Yeah.
But he learned that. He learned what it takes to take it to the next level. And I tell people all the time that some people that are great, they have that mindset. They can take a pass. They take some pass what most mental capabilities will stop at. Like, just like, somebody, if you're hurting yourself, you'll stop yourself from hurting yourself. Well, some people can take past that threshold and take it to another level, because mentally they just have that capacity to do it. Michael Jordan, his competitive nature, his competitive nature would push him past the limits that other people will have. And that's what makes him great. Well, Brady has that, but Hurts has something like that. Hurts can definitely, take his game to another level if he starts doing the little things. And I don't know what those little things are. I just know when I was playing, I became a better player once I learned what it is to be a pro. I learned how to break down field. I learned how to look at tendencies. And then I could see pre-snap stuff before it happened, and I could make a call and make something happen. But that didn't happen until later on in my career.
Right. You
know what I mean? And you can develop that. It can be done. He can be that quarterback. It's not like Five came in and was like, that type of quarterback that he became. Five had to work at it.
Five had issues.
He had a lot of issues. Five had issues all up to year 8, year 9.
Yeah.
He became great the tail end of his Philadelphia career. He wasn't great before that. Remember, he used to throw all those balls into the ground.
Oh yeah.
Those are things that he had to work past. He had to learn how to be that.
Well, he was not an anticipatory thrower either.
Exactly.
That's why he didn't throw many interceptions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But look what he became.
Right.
He has a little under 15,000 yards passing. He can be a good player, man. He had well over that, but I'm talking he definitely has gold jacket numbers. You know what I'm saying? Or right below
right
being a
below,
Hall of Famer.
right below. Yeah,
Right there. He's right
there's like
there,
a
man.
dotted line, and then there's 5.
Yes, you know what
Right.
I'm saying? He's right there.
Right.
But what's the difference between what you see in him and what you see in 5?
We should build like an almost Hall of Fame.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we could have our own enshrinements.
Well, look,
we
Ricky
give 'em
Waters.
a different colored jacket. You know, it's like
Right.
not gold. It's kind of like, I don't know, not
Mustard.
darker. Yeah, maybe a mustard, like a nice golden, spicy brown color.
Right.
You know. And that's the almost Hall of Fame. Yeah, Ricky Waters would be right there, right?
Yeah, man. There's an almost guy, Eric Allen.
Right.
Although
Eric Allen should be in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Yeah.
Seth Joyner.
Right.
Right on the cusp of it.
I
man.
liked his jacket yesterday.
Yeah, yeah. That was smooth, wasn't it?
It was pretty sweet.
Clyde Simmons. There's a lot of guys that shoulda, coulda, woulda made it.
Right.
They're right there.
Oh,
you know,
man.
even Jaws.
Right.
There's a lot of Eagles that didn't make it to the Hall of Fame,
Mm-hmm.
but are right there at the edge.
It's good Harold
there.
Carmichael finally made it in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was kind of a joke. All right, we'll take a quick time out. We got a whole other hour to go. We still got some audio from Nick Saban, and we got to get to this Gardner Minshew and his old man. Back after this.